WSBT TV is your hometown station. This is WSBT Eyewitness News, Night Shift.
Good evening. On this election night, South Bend, Mishawaka, and Elkhart all keep their mayors, but Benton Harbor elects a new one.
Democrats win another seat on South Bend's council, and there will be 3 new faces on Mishawaka's. We'll have all the winners and losers in the city elections, but first, South Bend teachers announced their strike day.
Teachers will not report to work on Thursday if no contract agreement is reached tomorrow during the final negotiating session. The teachers union says it is a matter of principle. Education reporter Rhonda Brown explains.
We've attempted to do everything we can, short of a strike, to resolve this conflict. I think it's clear that we've made compromises, we've addressed their concerns, we've bent over backwards, and we're not asking for a whole lot of money. So we also want to tell the public that if that mediation fails tomorrow, then the teacher bargaining team, who has already been authorized to call for a strike, will call for that strike this Thursday.
That announcement made at tonight's NEA public meeting is illegal and violates the temporary restraining order issued by the school corporation this afternoon on the NEA board.
We were committed to making sure that the public knew at least 1 day in advance of when we would go on strike. If we're in contempt of court for that, then so be it. Because if the teachers in South Bend, when they go on strike, they will all be in contempt of court.
I absolutely feel at this point in time that I have no other choice but to walk out the door of Darden School, which I love very much, if things don't turn around.
These teachers have gone to school. They have been trained to teach my child and your child. I can't do it. I cannot teach my child. They can. Give them the opportunity. Go back to school. Keep your kids home. Support the teachers.
Some 500 teachers, parents, and students attended tonight's meeting. It was intended to lay out the reasons for the impasse in teacher negotiations. Insurance, corporal punishment, and more paperwork for the teachers are the main sticking points. Some attending the meeting questioned the reason for the potential strike, particularly when they learned that the strike days do not have to be made up.
A strike in Indiana is illegal. What kind of message are you going to send to our children if you go out on an illegal strike?
Were you pleased with the answer that you got when you raised this issue?
Not really. No matter what they say about who makes the laws and why these laws were made, those laws still should be obeyed.
What kind of message does that send to you?
I think that everyone has a right to express the way that they feel, and I think that if the teachers aren't getting what they want and what they think that they deserve, that they have to express that.
Superintendent Monty Shriver says the school corporation will take action since the NEA violated the restraining order. They said a similar restraining order will be given to the teachers tomorrow. He says if the teachers strike on Thursday, the corporation will take action against the teachers, either through suspension or firing. Beeching says the NEA's position is don't send your child to school if there's a strike. He says education will not be taking place. It will be chaotic and an unsafe environment for your children. Shriver says they'll provide the safest environment they can for the students. Besides, Thursday is a scheduled day off for parent-teacher conferences. At Washington High School, Rhonda Brown, Eyewitness News, Night Shift.
Now for all the election results. We begin with the mayoral race in South Bend between incumbent Democrat Joe Kernan and his Republican challenger, Sylvia Shelton.
With all of the votes counted, Mayor Kernan wins easily. He gets 76% of the vote, Shelton 26%. Kernan will now serve a second term in the mayor's office. Shelton was an underdog in this race. She wasn't planning on running until her party drafted her as its candidate. Terry McFadden talked with both tonight.
Our mayor, re-elected again for another 4 years to lead our city, Joe Kernan. Joe, come on in. Let's go.
Basking in the light of the most lopsided mayoral victory in South Bend history, Joe Kernan gives a humorous thanks to his supporters.
Those of us that were running citywide are very grateful that we were able to ride on Roland Kelly's coattails.
The verdict was never really in doubt. The public had probably decided long ago that Kernan was too strong to fall to a political novice. That's probably why more than half of the registered voters stayed away from the polls. The 21,000 who cast ballots were the fewest in a mayor's race here in 70 years.
I would also like to express my appreciation and my congratulations to my opponent, Sylvia Shelton, who ran a campaign that was one of integrity, one of tenacity, and one that raised issues that I do not think will in any way diminish our opportunities over the next 4 years, but instead has been one that raised issues and prompted discussion that will indeed be the benefit of South Bend.
I feel great. I really do. My whole purpose was to raise conscious levels and public awareness, and I've been so successful in doing that.
Shelton adds her political career isn't over and sounds like she'd like to take another shot at Kernan.
It's the beginning of a long fight, and I will be a thorn in his side for a long time.
With his landslide victory in hand comes the obvious question. Will Joe Kernan run in 1995? A Kernan aide tells me that the mayor loves his job too much to ever leave it. And unless he decides otherwise or hard times fall on the city, Joe Kernan could likely be mayor until it's time to collect Social Security. In South Bend, Terry McFadden, Eyewitness News, Night Shift.
And now we go to Mishawaka for the mayor's race in the Princess City.
Republican incumbent Robert Buter was looking for a third term in office, and he will get it. Buter defeats his Democratic challenger George Heiner 67 to 33%. Joe Rosengard has reaction from both candidates.
First, I thank God that he put me in Mishawaka, Indiana. I love it.
Mayor Bob Buter thanks a somewhat cheerful crowd of GOP supporters. The Republicans won only 2 out of tonight's 10 city elections.
People of Mishawaka have again challenged me to continue the leadership that we've had for the last 8 years. On the other hand, they've only given me one Republican, Bill Pemberton, to work with. And we used to see in those days, vote straight Democratic. You don't see those signs anymore because people won't buy that.
And that was definitely evident in the highly saturated Democratic 2nd District, where voters crossed party lines to support Buter instead of the long-shot Democrat challenger George Heiner.
I never had much belief that I would, go over the top, but I was confident towards the end that I might stand a pretty good chance of it because the issues seemed to catch hold. But I think because of my name recognition, I think a lot of the voters just didn't know who I was.
And some called Heiner's issue raising an attack on Buter, negative campaigning.
I don't think I ran a negative campaign.
But Buter said he did, and the mayor's strategy of playing Mr. Nice Guy paid off.
Is it a sin to be nice in Mishawaka? And I think that the voters said by 2 to 1 or something that it's good to be nice in Mishawaka.
Now with the election over, Buter can get back to the business at hand, running the city. And George Heiner plans to return to work as he ponders his next try at politics. In Mishawaka, Jill Rosengard, Eyewitness News, Night Shift.
In Elkhart County, they just finished counting the votes.
Human error seems to be to blame. An election board member told Eyewitness News some punch cards were accidentally left in their security envelopes and weren't taken out to be counted. When the problem was found, all of the votes had to be recounted. Elkhart County thought they would have the results by 8:30 tonight. Elkhart County's punch card system has been criticized in the past for other problems, usually computer errors slowing the process. Meanwhile, the Elkhart mayor's race was a rematch between incumbent James Perrin and Republican Jack Donis.
Here are the numbers, and it looks like Perrin, a Democrat, will get a third term in office. These two ran against each other 4 years ago with similar results. And the results tonight, Perrin got 72% of the vote, and Jack Donis got 28%.
Well, I'm just anxious to get back to work. I'm very humbled, very honored, very thankful to all the people who helped make this possible, the people who worked in the polls, the people who went to vote today, the many people who worked in the campaign to get out the vote.
Let's move north to Michigan for an upset in the Benton Harbor mayoral race. John Snyder joins us live with the story. John?
Thank you, Cindy. It is an icy cold night in the Twin Cities tonight, and an icy cold slap has been delivered to the Wolf Camp. The Wolf campaign has been in power in the Benton Harbor mayor's office for the last 4 years. Emma Hall, a newcomer to city politics and certainly a newcomer to the mayor's office, has been apparently very successful in a very grassroots, door-to-door campaign. When all of the tallying was done up at City Hall tonight, she came up with 986 votes to 933 for Bill Wolf, so about a 50-vote victory for Emma Hall tonight. We've talked with some of the insiders tonight, and they had said that they thought the big difference was that this administration, the Wolf administration, has been seen as doing a lot of economic development, bringing in some rehabilitation and some revitalization of the downtown, but still many residents were still very dissatisfied with neighborhood issues, things like getting jobs for people that live here and some relief from the poverty situations that plagues the city. And also there had been some talk that in the last election when Mayor Wolf was elected, that there had been some disunity among the minority voters, of which much of the city is made up, and that this time many of the minority factions and several different parties have been gathered together on a unified vote. So we talked with Emma Hull, who had won tonight, and with Bill Wolf, who had to concede to a loss, and Emma Hull is now headed very happily to the City Hall. And Bill Wolf says that he has no regrets and that he'll still be doing some political maneuvers before the end of the year.
I'm really excited of how everything went and how the voting went today and all the people that helped. I'm just too full for words.
Okay, what do you think was the winning formula? What did got the voter support?
All the people that work so very, very hard, and I encouraged them that I would work with them 100% to bring about things that they would like to see brought about in this community.
Well, you know, the voters are ultimately always going to be correct in election like this. Disappointed, yeah, but at the same time, like I said, you know, we take pride in what has occurred. I guess I should say at this point that I'm not entirely ready to concede. I think that there's some things that need to be looked into, but should the numbers hold true, I want to congratulate Ms. Hall and her team that were elected.
And nevertheless, no matter which camp that you're from, there has been progress which has been seen in Benton Harbor, and hopefully that will continue with the next administration, to be honest. And of course, Cindy, there are more elections in Niles, and so we'll go back to you to find out the outcome of the Niles races and the rest of the elections.
Okay, John, and in Niles, we understand Ann Eckelsheimer has upset the incumbent Larry Clymer. Luke?
Okay, now we head back to South Bend for a look at the city council races. First, an upset in District 3 with 66% of the vote. Democrat Roland Kelly unseats Republican incumbent William Soderberg. Soderberg was seeking a second term in office, and here you see the results with 100% of the vote in.
It was nervous time all day today. This is my first effort at elective office, and the response was very gratifying, to say the least. I'm thrilled with what happened. At the same time, I congratulate Bill for running a good, clean campaign.
I thought the results would be much closer. Our polls indicated they would be much closer than that. However, it was a very strong Democrat ballot, carried the endorsement of some of the media, and obviously the mayors worked very hard on my opponent's behalf. So I basically was campaigning against the mayor.
In District 2, Democrat Cleophas Washington pounds Republican Vernon Sutton. Washington wins with more than 82% of the vote. Back in May, Washington upset incumbent Councilman Donald Niedzgodzki.
I'm looking forward to the challenge the next 4 years. I'm looking forward to the next 2 months, getting an opportunity to sit down and really learn how the council functions, getting a chance to talk to different members of the council, and seeing which committee assignments I will have. I'm very, very interested in working on the Public Safety Commission as well as the Economic Development.
Back in the 1st District, it was incumbent Democrat Stephen Lickey looking for a second term, and he gets it with 75% of the vote. His challenger, Republican Edward McHenry, picks up 25%. McHenry didn't even enter this race until after the primary election in May.
Moving on to District 4, Ann Pizzello, the incumbent Democrat, wins a third term on the council. She picks up 67% of the vote. Republican challenger Dorothy Perkins also entered the race after the primary.
And in the 5th District, Republican Lee Slavinskas was seeking a second term in office, and he wins with 60% of the vote. His challenger, former South Bend Parks Superintendent Jim Seitz, gets 40%. Slavinskas is now the only Republican on the council.
That I know I'll be alone up there, and it's going to make the job a little bit more difficult than it had been in the past. But on the other hand, we have to look at it from the standpoint that, you know, come January 1st, I represent the people. I don't necessarily represent Republicans only or have any reason not to help and support Democrats. The main issue here is to be a good councilman.
In District 6, it was former Council President Thomas Zakreski going against Republican Joanne McCuddy. Zakreski, a Democrat, wins another term in office. He picks up more than 86% of the vote.
The council-at-large race had 6 candidates looking to fill 3 seats, and the winners are all incumbent Democrats. Loretta Duda, Sean Coleman both picked up 25% of the vote, and Eugene Ladusky returns to the council with 24%. None of the 3 Republicans in the race were able to pick up more than 9% of the vote.
And in the race for clerk in South Bend, Democrat Irene Gammon keeps the post she has held since 1971. With 73% of the vote, Gammon beats Republican challenger Lisa Baumauer. Now we go to the Mishawaka area for the final numbers on council races there.
In District 1, it was Democrat Trevon Lima Jr. against Republican James Summer. Lima wins this one with more than 58% of the vote. He was the incumbent in this race, but it was the first time he faced the voters. He had filled a vacant seat on the council.
Over in District 2, the man who beat longtime council member Primo Fanti back in May will take a seat on the council. Democrat Kevin Odell wins. He gets 61% of the vote. Republican challenger Richard Artuzzi finishes with 39%.
In Mishawaka's 3rd district, it was Republican incumbent William Pemberton seeking a 3rd term in office. He picks up 69% of the vote. Democratic challenger Dennis Dale comes in with 31%.
In the 4th district, former council president Dorothy Wayne keeps her seat on the council. The Democrat wins easily with 64% of the vote. Her challenger, Republican Jeff Faltinsky, gets 36%.
In the city's 5th district and closest council race, Democrat Dan Coons wins a 3rd term on the council. Coons gets 52% of the vote, enough to beat Republican challenger Edward Salyer. Coons wins by just 49 votes.
Back in May, Democrat Jerome DeDapper upset incumbent Councilman Peter Rodich in the primary election. Tonight he takes over District 6 seat by defeating Republican challenger Virginia Gunn. DeDapper easily wins this one with over 61% of the vote.
The council-at-large race in Mishawaka had 6 candidates looking to fill 3 seats. The 3 winners are all Democrats. They are John Gleisner, Charles Triple, both picking up 19%, and Charles Perry, who brought in 18% of the vote. With longtime Councilman Scott DeClean not running, this race was wide open.
And there's a new clerk for the city of Mishawaka. Janet Opful has retired from the job. Taking her place will be Deputy Clerk Deborah Ladiga Block. The Democrat wins with 57% of the vote. She beats Republican challenger Karen Foster, a former aide to John Hyler. Now, on to the council races in Elkhart.
Starting in District 1, it was Democrat Brad Reiners facing Republican Carol McDowell, and you see there was 70% of the polling places reporting McDowell is leading. Oh, it's a tie, 50-50, I see there. Very close.
In the 2nd district, Republican Tim Neese was hoping to keep his seat. He was challenged by Democrat Anne Marie Ryan. And here you see Neese is leading handily there with 59% of the vote.
In District 3 with 70% reporting, John Calvert 60% of the vote.
In the 4th district, Daniel Haynes was hoping to keep his seat against Republican challenger Phil Neuenschwander. And Haynes, a Democrat, comes in with 71%, Neuenschwander 29%.
In the 5th district, Arvis Dawson leading there with 59% of the vote over Ronnie Davis's 41%. And these are the 3 winners in the council-at-large race, at least with 70% of the polling places reporting. 19% for Charles Darling and James Fairchild, 17%. They will be electing 3 here over Mary Ladow, Herman Curry, and Phil Stiver. And moving on to other races tonight, there's a new mayor in Plymouth.
He is Jack Greenlee, a longtime grocer. The Republican beats former 4-term mayor Charles Glaw by 59 to 41%. The race opened up after Mayor Bill Sartorius decided not to run for another term. Ray Roth talked with Glaub and Greenlee after the votes came in.
I think probably that water tower issue had a big bearing, and it was really never answered. And I think the fact that we just got out and hustled and worked turned the tide.
He ran a very good race, and I'll tell you, Ray, we really enjoyed the campaign. This campaign was probably the best one that I've been in so far. And we met more new people and more new faces. I'm sure the Democrats will be back.
In Goshen's mayoral race, it was Democratic incumbent Mike Puro running against Republican Marcia Meyer.
And with 70% of the polling places in now, Puro 60% to Meyer's 40%.
And on to the mayor's race in LaPorte. Incumbent Democrat Elmo Gonzalez was looking for a 2nd term in office, and he gets his wish. Gonzalez comes through with 67% of the vote. Republican challenger William Gring Jr. picks up just 33%.
And in Michigan City, incumbent Robert Beeler Jr. was also seeking a 2nd term. He was challenged by Republican James Kinsel. And by a 2-to-1 margin, Beeler easily keeps his job.
In Warsaw, a Republican was looking to hold on to a seat. Incumbent Jeffrey Plank wins easily with 70% of the vote. Democratic challenger Elaine Bell comes in with only 30%. Over to a close race for the mayor down in Rochester.
Republican incumbent Philip Thompson was challenged by City Council President Edward Fansler, a Democrat. It was tight, but we have an upset. Fansler wins with 54% of the vote, and Thompson rang up 46%.
And for the first time ever, Knox has a female mayor. 3 women were going for the post held by William Dixon. He decided not to seek another term. The winner is Nancy Jo Dembowski, a Democrat who picked up 62% of the vote. She defeated Republican Jennifer Landrum and independent candidate Monica Holbrook. And the night shift continues. When we come back, new and disturbing clues on the case of a missing Bremen woman.
The long nomination process for CIA nominee Robert Gates is over. He gets the go-ahead from the Senate.
And you probably remember him best from My 3 Sons. Fred McMurray loses a bout with pneumonia.
Guess what time it is? It's time for a McBonus, friends. And this bonus is good only at McDonald's.
Starting Friday, November 8th, your bonus is one of a kind for $99. Featuring 99-cent prices, no strings attached. For breakfast, an Egg McMuffin sandwich is only 99 cents. Lunchtime on, a Big Mac sandwich is only 99 cents through November 24th. One of a kind for $99 starts Friday, November 8th.
Get your bonus during McBonus time. You're going to love the change at McDonald's.
1992 Grand Marquis.
Night and day, you are the one.
The one with more room, more quiet, more fuel efficiency, and more power. From the most technologically advanced V8 engine in its class, plus more value. Now with $750 customer cash. 1992 Grand Marquis. More of what you want in a full-sized car.
You are the one.
See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
I'm here today to speak with you about checking. Standard Federal Bank gives you many ways to earn absolutely free checking. Some of our competitors stick you with monthly fees. And every time you write a check, they charge you. You needn't put up with that. Switch to Standard Federal and save. We'll help you attain your financial goals.
Join the best checking team in town, Standard Federal Bank.
Dad, how do you spell savings?
H-E-A-T-P-U-M-P.
That spells heat pump.
Heat pumps save money and energy, and that's savings.
And how do you spell value?
C-O-M-F-O-R-T-A-S-S-U-R-E-D.
That spells comfort assured.
Value is what you get when you use a Comfort Assured dealer. Ashley, how do you spell satisfied?
R-C-H.
R-C-H?
River City Heating. That's how everyone spells satisfied.
Call the Comfort Assured specialist at River City Heating.
And don't forget to tell them Ashley sent you.
A new lead in the case of a missing Bremen woman bears disheartening news tonight.
Police in Indianapolis found 26-year-old Karen Arndt's abandoned car in the city's downtown. In it were some of Arndt's personal items, and on the passenger seat what appeared to be splattered blood. Police are still conducting lab tests on the car. It was parked just 1 block from the bus station. Arndt has been missing since last Thursday when she met her husband for lunch. She told him she was going to go home, clean the house, and then go to work. But she never showed up and hasn't been seen or heard from since.
In Plymouth, a slate of near kidnappings has parents terrified. It started 3 weeks ago when a 14-year-old girl reported that an Hispanic man grabbed her from behind and unsuccessfully tried to force her into an older model blue Chevrolet van in downtown Plymouth. 2 weeks later, a man matching that same description tried to pull another young girl off her bicycle and into a dark blue van. And last Friday, a young boy reported that a Mexican man in a dark blue van offered him a ride home from school. Plymouth police have stepped up their patrols, but parents are still worried.
I think, maybe they could do more patrolling during the day. Maybe when school is in process in the morning, they should be around there, or after school, It's just, this van's got to be caught. I mean, it's just happening too much, And one of these days, somebody's going to get it. One of these kids aren't going to come home.
Police are urging parents to have their children walk home from school in groups. And here's what else is happening around our world tonight.
In Washington, another embattled Bush nominee pushes through to confirmation. The Senate has voted overwhelmingly to make Robert Gates the next CIA director. It was the longest and most controversial confirmation ever for a CIA nominee. Both of Indiana's Republican senators, by the way, backed Gates.
In Pennsylvania tonight, the only U.S. Senate race pits former Attorney General Richard Thornburg against Democratic Senator Harris Walford, and Walford is the winner. He was appointed to the Senate seat earlier this year. Thornburg was to fill the vacancy left by the death of Republican Senator John Hines, but has lost that seat.
Near Spain, off the Canary Islands, the body of British publishing magnate Robert Maxwell is pulled from the sea. It is believed the flamboyant billionaire fell off his luxury yacht. Reports say Maxwell's body was recovered nude, but showed no signs of violence. Maxwell's holdings range from several British tabloids to the New York Daily News. He was 68.
And in Santa Monica, California, the man best known as the wise, pipe-smoking father in My Three Sons has died tonight. Actor Fred MacMurray died of pneumonia. He was in his early 80s. His stage, film, and television career spanned more than 50 years, but his best-known role is probably that of Stephen Douglas, the aerodynamics engineer trying to raise his three sons in one of the network TV's longest-running sitcoms.
And still ahead on the night shift, Tim's in with details of a pay-per-view deal for the Irish-Penn State game.
And up next, Sam runs through a chilly week of weather.
At the Olive Garden Italian restaurant, we make pasta fresh every day. And for all the different kinds of pasta we serve, there are just as many wonderful ways for you to enjoy them. Fresh pasta at the Olive Garden, where all the best of Italy is yours.
I was doing the system installation the other day, and there was this little kid. He said, "What's that?" Tell him it's a water conditioner for cleaner clothes. Later, I'm installing a drinking water system, and the kid says,
"What you doing under the sink, old man?"
I tell him I'm making his water taste better.
Cool.
Cool.
Introductory offer. Rent a Culligan home water system, conditioner, and drinking water for just $3.50 per month. Call your Culligan man today.
Hey, Culligan man!
The all-new 92 Honda Accord. #1 in customer satisfaction. And now, driver's side airbags are standard because we want you safe and satisfied. Putnam Imports, Elkhart, Schroeder Honda, Benton Harbor, and Basney Honda, Mishawaka.
Weight Watchers entrees, 2 for $5. Regular or Sunrise Downy Fabric Softener, 64-ounce bottle, $1.99. Libby Pumpkin, 29-ounce can, $1.25.
Election night, we had John Snyder standing out there in the cold today. He said it was pretty cold out there.
Chilly, especially with the strong gusty winds, making it feel like 10, 11 degrees. And we did have some light snow around Michiana earlier. It's currently ending, but more snow developing tomorrow. I'll tell you more about that coming up. Featured photo tonight sent in to us by Barbara Morningstar of Edwardsburg. A shot of Lake Tahoe with some clouds working over the lake, and we may see some clouds working over our lake tomorrow in the form of lake effect clouds. 17 our low for the day, 35 our daytime high, or I should say our nighttime high. 36 up to 53 would be our normal temperature spread, and the records on this day, 10 and 76. Right now, overcast with 34, humidity 66%, dew point 24, barometric pressure falling, south wind 15, gusting up to 26. Feels like 14 degrees out there, and we did pick up a trace of snow earlier this evening. Here are our clouds in motion over the past 8 hours. You see these clouds associated with the moisture and the snow working off to the east, and you can see some lower level clouds associated with some drizzle and some flurry activity back to our west, associated with this cold front which is working through. But again, mild air, prefrontal warming on the backside of this area of high pressure. That's why temperatures expected to hold in the low to mid-30s overnight tonight. Regional radar shows most of the light snow working off to our east at about 30 miles per hour. Just about a dusting for us at the most. Back upstream, things are pretty much on the dry side. So temperatures holding steady tonight in the low to mid-30s, and then low to mid-30s tomorrow morning for highs before the 20s begin to dive into the southern Great Lakes. Then as we head into tomorrow, developing lake effect snow showers. It'll be on the light side as our winds shift over from the northwest across the lake. Then we'll have to watch this impulse. It'll work just to our south for tomorrow night, lingering into Thursday, which could bring us some light snow at that time. And again, some partial clearing with Arctic air in here for not only Thursday afternoon, but for Friday as well. When we come back, I'll let you know what the short-term forecast says.
For suspension or alignment, we use top technology to diagnose the problem and top technicians to fix it. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
brand, $33.94.
I'm Dennis Duduche, owner of Evergreen Spas and Saunas. With cool weather fast approaching, now is the best time to buy a hot spring spa. Our knowledgeable sales staff will help you plan and design the perfect setting for your spa. With a full 5-year parts and labor warranty and the lowest operating cost of any spa, Hot Spring Spas will relax your body and ease your mind. Take advantage of special financing now at Evergreen Spas and Saunas, 620 West Edison Road in the new St. Andrews Plaza.
A bit breezy with the precipitation ending overnight tonight in Michiana. Windy, temperatures holding steady in the low to mid-30s with gusty southwest winds up to 30. Lake effect snow showers developing tomorrow. Morning high around 35 before temperatures fall back into the 20s. Minor accumulations a possibility. Light snow tomorrow night, cloudy cold, low 17. And then for Thursday, chance of some lingering morning flurries, then partially clearing skies by afternoon. High on Thursday, only 27. And another snow system may be in here for the weekend.
Not all of the snow, but all of these snows here this early in November.
You bet.
Something
one after another.
Well, we have all of the council races in from Elkhart now, so let's take another look.
Well, let's start in District 1. Well, we now have 100% in the mayor's race, so let's start right there. And as you see, as we told you earlier, Perrin the winner, the incumbent. And the judge's race, Charles Grodnick, 52%, winner there.
All right, and now on to Council District 1 with McDowell 55% and Reiners 45%.
In District 2, Nice is the winner with 57% of the vote.
In District 3, it's John Calvert with 61% of the vote. He's the incumbent.
And in District 4, Daniel Hayes wins with 72%, overwhelming victory there.
In District 5, it's Dawson 59%, Davis 41%.
And in the 6th District, Ann Coleman is the winner with 69% of the vote.
And here's a look at the council at large races. 3 of these will be elected, and it looks like they are Krulowich and Darling. And here you see the also-rans, a Democrat and 2 Republicans.
And there you go in the Niles mayor's race, Dan Eckelsheimer upsetting Larry Clymer, the Democratic incumbent, 58% to 42%.
And that's another election rundown. We'll be back with Tim and sports right after this.
Stress, guilt, fear, loneliness. Jesus said, "In my word you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." What would it mean to live free? Let Jesus explain at the Wells.
You are responsible for the most intricate machine on Earth. A machine that can run for 100 years, yet be decimated by something a mere billionth of its size. It comes with no instructions, but there is an owner's hotline.
Hello, ask a nurse.
Ask a nurse. If you have a healthcare question, we have the answer.
Carnegie welcomes to South Bend to the Morris Civic Auditorium on its triumphant tour of America. Annie, America's happiest musical, comes to the Morris Civic Auditorium December 6th and 7th. Reserve seats now on sale for Annie at the Morris Civic Auditorium box office. Or charge by phone, 284-9190. Special $5 off children's coupons available with the purchase of any MD product at Martin's. Annie's coming to town. Annie's coming to town. Just when we need it.
At the Olive Garden Italian restaurant, so much goes into everything we do. That's why you get so much out of it. The Olive Garden, where all the best of Italy is yours.
Lotto America. It's gotten bigger. It's up to an estimated $8 million for Wednesday's drawing. $8 million. But you gotta play if you want to win.
Still with us. I hope you got all those election results down.
Well, I don't quite have them all written in. I've been getting basketball scores, you know, the Bulls, and those folks. Chicago Bulls, we're back on the court this evening, the world champs at home with Golden State. Now, usually the stadium is a pretty tough place to win when you're coming in as a visitor, and Billy Owens is going to find out why. Picked his pocket, and Jordan puts it down. 40 points for Michael tonight. How high can this guy fly? Well, take a look and ask Chris Mullen how his jaw is after that one. Speaking of Mullen, he had the hot hand down the stretch, and wouldn't you know, Golden State wins it 118-110 in Chicago. The Pistons at the Palace with Charlotte, Isaiah to Mark Aguirre. Watch it drop. Then it's Joe Dumars behind the back to Bill Lambert. He hits nothing but nest. 117-93. Pistons winners tonight. The Irish and Volunteers will lock horns this Saturday. A win this week, along with a victory over Penn State, would do wonders to, as hard as it may be to believe, actually give them a chance at playing for number one.
We don't really think about the national championship. We know that the only chance we have is to find a way to beat Tennessee. We can't even think about anybody else, because that's the task at hand. Plus, when we get done with this game, we don't know what we're going to have. You know, we may lose somebody or something else that we don't know. But our players know that if you win enough games, the Poles and Bulls take care of themselves, and we really, truly don't focus on it other than on occasion. On occasion, I will tell them every dream we had before the season still lies.
Now, what exactly has to happen? Well, Notre Dame must win their final 3 games over Tennessee, Penn State, and Hawaii, plus a bowl game against the number 1 ranked team. They also need a little help. Michigan and or Washington must lose 1 game before the Rose Bowl, and then that team must beat the other in Pasadena. As one guy says, it's just that simple. We'll see what happens.
It's just that simple.
By the way, the pay-per-view situation, folks in Chicago were not going to be able to see the Penn State-Notre Dame game. They were going to pick up the Big Ten package. Well, they can pay, if pay-per-view is available, they can buy it and see Notre Dame play. That's the gist of that.
It's going to cost them, just like buying a ticket to the game.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back with another look at the 7-day forecast.
Play the easy-to-win news quiz. Watch the 11 p.m. night shift news on WSBT TV. Then watch Night Court for the quiz question about some fact presented during that night's newscast. The 4th caller with the correct answer wins $100 worth of Kentucky Fried Chicken gift certificates. And right now, everyone's a winner at KFC. Get a 10-piece family meal for just $9.99. That's 10 pieces of chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, biscuits, and coleslaw for just $9.99. It's the Colonel's Tribute, available for a limited time only at KFC. And remember to play news quiz tonight.
So, you like to do things for yourselves.
We like to save money.
Then you'll like Valley American Bank's home improvement loan. It's foolproof.
These were supposed to be foolproof.
Well, Valley American's loan is, you can get money now to let you hire professionals to remodel your home.
Surprise.
And Valley American's interest rates are the lowest in years.
How are you at plumbing?
The foolproof home improvement loan from Valley American Bank, where we're always in touch with you.
The game was close, and the fans were getting restless on that fateful day. But the home team was up to the occasion. A trip to the deli at Martin Supermarket started things off right. With minutes left in the half, Mary passed Bob a bucket of delicious deli fried chicken. Bob picked up the Hoosier fries and deli trays, and the super sub brought the crowd to his feet.
When you need good food fast, you can always count on the deli at Martin Supermarkets.
with the highest resale value in its class and proven Honda reliability. The Accord truly is a safe place to put your money.
Your new Honda dealer group working together to bring you the best-selling cars in America.
And I think we're ready here for the 7-day forecast.
I think we are. Falling temperatures back into the 20s by tomorrow afternoon with developing snow showers. Snow tomorrow night, flurries Thursday, cold, and then another light snow system in here for Saturday and Sunday with temperatures around the freezing mark. As you can see, temperatures 20s and 30s, well below our normals of 52.
Boy, you're just barely getting us above that freezing mark at all for the next 7 days.
I've been working on it.
Boy, I guess. Not hard enough, ladies, huh? Try again. Go to your European model.
There you go.
Yeah, that said it was going to be 40. I like that model.
That's it for tonight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow night here on The Night Shift.
Good night.